back everybody to a very special video. It's the return of a series that I used to do on the channel a little bit ago. It's Figure Friday. It's back and we're celebrating Figure Friday with 3 different action figures, all from McFarlane Toys. He's about to lose the license, guys, and it turns out before he loses the license, he wanted to make a bunch of the female characters from DC Comics. Of course, we have Zatanna with Detective Chimp. We have the Black Canary. Really cool look for Black Canary on this one. And then, of course, the last one is Jessica Cruz Green Lantern joining. I think I only have one other Green Lantern up there. It's Hal Jordan. So this will be the second Green Lantern in the collection. Alrighty, guys. So straight out the box, we've got Zatanna. Okay, so let's take a look at the Zatanna first. Zatanna, she can do the head all the way around, but of course the hair gets in the way and then the hair falls off and she looks insane. Really, really scary look. Of course. So I guess I'm confused, right? So the hair pops off, but why would you? Because there's no hair swap, right? No hair swap, and then you put the top hat right on top of her hair. So I don't know why the hair pops off and you can look insane, and it's kind of a loose, and the hair pops off just super easy. So there's your first ding, McFarlane, alright? That kind of stinks. The hat is kind of a fun material, the flexible kind of brim on the cap, so there it squeezes right on top of her head. In terms of articulation, of course, you get the McFarlane classic shoulder joint 360. You get the bicep swivel as well as the double jointed clicky elbows. And you see McFarlane with the women characters, he gives them such skinny arms. Such really, really skinny arms. Kind of looks weird when it's kind of out like that. I guess when it's down, it's not as noticeable, but real skinny arms on the girl characters from McFarlane. Not sure what's up with that. Of course, you get the 360. You get the 360 wrist kind of pivot there, and she's got the wand. Kind of a boring sort of wand. It's not even like, I don't know, wood or anything. What is Zatanna's wand usually? It's not like a green rod, I feel like, right? But in terms of the abdomen articulation, you do get sort of a 360 all the way around. Her corset and kind of, you know, what she's wearing on her torso is stopping you from getting a bend either front or back. Kind of limited. I guess you do go back a decent amount actually, but not really getting anything on the front articulation there. As a high kick, you get a real big high kick. I'll zoom out a little bit. Zatanna doing a nice high kick. You get the double jointed knees, nice clicky McFarlane double jointed knees. I think all the different textures they used are kind of cool, like the fishnet sort of material. It's kind of raised a little bit, and then it's kind of got this rubbery feel on her jacket, her performance jacket there. Looking magician for sure. And then of course the ankles, you get that sort of ratcheted McFarlane ankle joint that does the 360, and you get, of course, say it with me, toe-ticulation. So yeah, great job on the Zatanna for the most part. It's just that hair that keeps popping off real easily. And then real quick, let's do a hand swap. Show you guys. You get that sort of magical effect there. So yeah, I think Zatanna looks real good. Overall, I think they nailed it. I think the great use of colors, great use of material. I think the face sculpt, say what you will about the face sculpt, alright? The face sculpts are never going to be 100% where you want them, but I think they did pretty good for the most part. And if you're looking at the data file card, I mean, I think they nailed it. I think they nailed it for the most part. I guess she's missing her rose. That could have been cool. But yeah, with that being said, let's take a look at Detective Chimp, okay? So Detective Chimp, I was curious about his articulation. He does have the full 360 on the shoulders, nothing on any other joints it looks like. Oh, okay, it looks like he gets a 360 on the feet, so that is pretty good. On the head, okay, you do get 360 on the head, and the head pops off. Okay, so the head pops off if you do more of a 360. Okay, so that's Detective Chimp. Pretty decent articulation, all things considered. You do get that other hand swaps. And then real quick, I'll show you the data file cards. Pause to read them. And yeah, that's a great first unboxing for this Figure Friday. Next up, let's take a look at do the Jessica Cruz real quick, okay? This one will be nice and fast. Jessica Cruz. She's got that crazy hair. And that's the first thing I'll say, man. Not a big fan on, I guess, like, okay, out of the box you can sort of fix her posture, but in the box it kind of looked like her neck was sticking out a little bit, and it's still sticking out a decent amount. I kind of wish it was more straight. But yeah, so you got the hair kind of going all the way, flowing all around. You get some nice 360, you get some nice side-to-side swivel on the head. The arms, same thing you expect from the Zatanna, to be honest with you. You got the shoulders, you got the bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, ratcheted wrist joint that McFarlane is known for having. Of course, you get the ring hand and a fist. So Jessica Cruz with the ring there. I think her suit, I think they nailed it. It's got a really cool dark green, little bits of white accent. The dark green and the black look real cool together. Her boots, she's got some high heels kind of going. Sure. Okay, this is interesting. So for the, you go back a lot so you can get into a nice flight pose there, but the forward, okay, you're getting a decent, that's a little lacking. You'd want the forward bend to be a little bit better than that. Of course, it does do the full 360, and you get a decent amount of side-to-side wiggle there. High kick, we're high kicking. Jessica Cruz can do that high kick. Of course, I didn't show this before, but it's got the regular, on the Zatanna, you got the regular kind of crotch joint that McFarlane's known for. Clicky, gets you in all the angles you probably want. You get that double jointed knee on Jessica, of course. You get that ratcheted ankle joint that does the full 360, and say it with me, you got the toe articulation. So all in all, pretty well articulated figure. Again, it's got the McFarlane skinny arm syndrome. I don't know why all his female characters, all his women characters have such skinny ass arms, but there you go. Got the Jessica Cruz, Green Lantern, getting her into a flight pose. And I think it looks sick, man. That's a nice figure. That's a nice figure. Alright, what's this swirly thing? Maybe this is the punch? Yeah, okay, so you got a swirly sort of punch that can kind of sit on her ring hand. And then what's this thing, dude? What are we doing with this thing? Kind of like a, just like a, as she's flying, like maybe it goes on her leg. I don't know what we're supposed to be doing with this. I might have to watch another video. Where did someone else put this? Because if you're looking at the data file card, it's not really giving me a clue on where to put this sort of swirl. It's a little bit too thick for her arm. I'm guessing a leg. Doesn't really look that good on the leg, so I'm not sure on that. Let's take a look at the data file card, of course. She's flying through space there. Arm outstretched. Oh, I guess I didn't mention either. On the portrait, you do have that slight Green Lantern logo on her face. I think it looks really good. And then, of course, let's zoom in. Let's zoom in on the face so you guys can get a good look at the portrait. Probably the best portrait that we've seen today. So I think this is a little bit more true to life than the Zatanna portrait that we looked at. And then, of course, the data file card. Jessica Cruz, Green Lantern. Let's zoom in on the data file card. Pause to read. Last but not least, guys, let's get Zatanna. Let's get Zatanna reviewed, okay? So, Zatanna, she's got a cool leather jacket. The mixed material from McFarlane. It's cool to see McFarlane do that more and more. So you got that leather jacket. Hold on, let me get the other accessories in here. So you got a bunch of her face swaps, a bunch of her hand swaps. Of course, I didn't mention on the other figures, but you get the dinky little McFarlane stand, whatever. Okay, you got the data file card. Let's do this one real quick. Pause to read. Diana Drake Lance, Black Canary. She's been many things. Black Ops agent, fugitive, superhero, and rock star. So there you go. Diana Lance, Black Canary. Let's take a look at the figure itself. First thing I had a question about was, can you take the leather jacket off? You can take the leather jacket off, guys, okay? So it's caught up in her hair, but that's to be expected. You would be able to take the leather jacket off. Oh, this is cool, okay? So the leather jacket, got a nice Black Canary logo on the back. That's a nice little touch. McFarlane didn't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? It could have just been a regular basic, leather jacket that you get from a Barbie doll or something like that. But he put a little emblem on the back. The 360 on the head. Of course, the hair gets in sort of the way. And as you turn the head, it kind of messes up the jacket, to be expected. A little bit of a complex figure going on, okay? There's a lot of things going on here. Of course, she's got that kind of the necklace. She's got that crossbody, kind of corset look going on. I think it looks really cool. And in this one, this is definitely, you guys are seeing how it's moving around. This is not painted on fishnets. This is like an actual different material used, an actual fishnet material underneath the boots and underneath her shorts. So yeah, there is a different sort of material being used here for the fishnets, different than the Zatanna, where this one's obviously painted on, raised slightly, but not raised that much. But this one, these are actually different material. So yeah, man, I would say that just on first impressions, this Black Canary is the one that's impressing me the most in terms of the mixed material, in terms of the accessories. Of course, you take the face off. Let's put a Dinah Lance screaming face on, kind of get it underneath the hair. I like the face swap technology, I guess you could say. I think it works really well for these McFarlanes. Every face swap I've run into works really well. The kind of, you know, where it kind of meets the actual head sculpt, you can't really tell. I think they do a good job really blending it in, hiding it behind hair and that sort of thing. So yeah, this is a great figure so far. Of course, you get the same 360 arm. You get the double jointed elbow. I can feel it in there. You get the bicep swivel, and you get that ratcheted wrist joint, of course. McFarlane's known for that. I would say out of all the figures, though, today, this one has the worst front kind of bend, okay? So you're not really bending at the waist right there, but you do get a decent back bend on this Black Canary. I don't know why you'd want to bend her like that. Maybe she's doing some athletic sort of kick or whatever. Speaking of kicks, let's do a high kick real quick. So you can do the high kick. You can do the double jointed elbow, or the double jointed knees, excuse me. So you get there, and then you get, she's got a really cool boot design. Boot goes all the way up to the knee. You get the 360 ratcheted ankle joint. Goes all the way around, and then say it with me, you get the toe tick. There's no toe-ticulation, guys. There's no toe-ticulation. The toes are not articulating. That's alright, because all things considered, this is probably the favorite figure out of the entire unboxing. I think the use of mixed material, I think the face sculpts themselves are really solid. Let's do a hand swap just for fun. And then boom, we got the hands swapped there. Actually, let's do two. I don't know why you'd give her a sort of like, they look like trigger fingers, man. I'm not gonna lie. These are trigger fingers. I don't know what you're giving her trigger fingers for. I guess they're kind of open, kind of closed, right? But those are trigger fingers on other figures, right? That have guns. Anyways, that's a cool figure. And that's what we have today, man. So we have the Black Canary. We have the Zatanna, of course. And then we've got the Jessica Cruz. So a nice set of figures that we unboxed in this video. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite of the unboxing was. And look forward to next Friday where we do another action figure unboxing. Actually, hold on. So that's been another Action Figure Friday. We had some great unboxings today, but let's look forward to next week, all right? So let me know down in the comments. And the most upvoted comment, or the character that people comment the most, is the one I'll unbox next Friday. But we have the Bombastic Bagman on the retro card. So if a Spider-Man figure here. I don't unbox too many Marvel Legends, but Spider-Man is definitely a character I collect Marvel Legends for. And then we have the Dr. Fate. Okay, so the classic look for the Dr. Fate. We got the wired cape on there. Looks super cool. So definitely let me know down in the comments. Do you want the Dr. Fate to be unboxed or the Bombastic Bagman? And I'll unbox whichever one you guys want me to, man. So look forward to that next Friday. Action Figure Fridays are back. Like if you like, sub if you love, and you really like it, you can hype it. I appreciate it. I'll catch you guys in the next one.